completely gone. But their footprint is still there, they don't have any influence or impact, their qualities are not imprinted in us. But these 21 qualities are there in us. How many more will happen? 112 will happen.
112?
112. Each one of them may take whatever they've calculated these yojanas up to how long it'll take, that's not my number game, is not my game. So, 112 times it'll happen. After that, it will manifest in a way that it's non-physical and becomes a perpetual universe. A non-physical universe will manifest itself, that it doesn't need physical matter but exists. And even individual existence may happen, we don't know. It may happen or one massive happening may happen, but a proper manifestation of universe without physicality. When that happens, that means your energy system matures to a point where even if you do not know any spiritual process, it matures to a point where it can easily flower. It can happen very easily after death. If your grandfather died after 84, you can be quite sure that he is not coming back. He may not attain to mukti, but he is not coming back, he is into various stages. If he had sadhana, if he had some awareness, if he left with some awareness, even a little bit of awareness, for sure he is not coming back. If you just manage to live to complete 7 solar cycles and 1008 lunar cycles, his karmic structure will become loose. Once it's become loose, he cannot find another body immediately. No womb will accept him. That means he'll hang around.
The main source of energy for this planet is the sun. And your body is just a piece of the planet. So the sun's influence upon everything that is in the world is big, very big. But the moon, which has no way of emitting energy like the sun, also has a tremendous impact on our systems because of its closeness to the planet. So when we want to understand the ways of the life, the way it's happening to us from outside, we look to the sun. When we want to understand the way life is happening from within, we look to the moon. So influence of the moon upon our systems is undeniable. The very fundamentals of our birth is connected to the cycles of the moon. The cycles of the moon and the natural biological cycles in a feminine body are 100% connected, there's no question about that. So the very source of our birth is connected to the movement of the moon. Because physiologically, our birth and our life is rooted in this in many ways. I would say generally, not always, generally, women are far more existential because their body speaks the language of the moon. This keeping of time, we should not misunderstand keeping of time with clocks and watches. They don't know a thing, they're just going mechanically. But the human body knows time in a different way, which is not a mechanical process. Well, Though the planetary or the movements of the earth and the moon itself is a mechanical process in some way, the consequence or the impact that it has on our life is not mechanical. It's very alive. Its impact is very experientially powerful. In the development of the human energy, in the development of the energy system of a human being, if this energy system witnesses 1008 full moons, which approximately happens in 84 years of time, you would have completed 7 solar cycles and 1008 lunar cycles. That means your energy system matures to a point where even if you do not know any spiritual process, it matures to a point where it can easily flower. It can happen very easily after death. If your grandfather died after 84, you can be quite sure that he is not coming back. He may not attain to mukti, but he is not coming back, he is into various stages. If he had sadhana, if he had some awareness, if he left with some awareness, even a little bit of awareness, for sure he is not coming back. If you just manage to live to complete 7 solar cycles and 1008 lunar cycles, then you can break a certain bond with the earth. Your bond with the planet is broken largely, and very easily, with very little assistance, even if you know nothing about anything, with very little assistance, you can go beyond the cycles of birth and death. Because your bond with the planet and the material of the planet, the memory of which you carry within you and the memory of you, the material also carries, you will break that bond. Once this bond is broken, then the work that needs to be done is very simple. If you've ever had an old person in your home of that age, one thing you would notice is, whatever their characteristics were, whatever their significant characteristics of their behavior and normal personality characteristics were, you will see somewhere between 83 to 85, these characteristics will change dramatically. Suppose somebody was very grumpy, you will see after 84, 85 years of age, suddenly he's a very joyful and nice person, or whatever. Some changes, significant changes in their character will happen, because the karmic bondage that is holding the person to a certain pattern of behavior will loosen up. This is the reason why we say, if a person dies after 84 years of age, after having witnessed, maybe the fool never had the joy of looking at a full moon, but his body has witnessed. Maybe his eyes have not, but his physical form has witnessed 1008 moons, means his karmic structure will become loose. Once it's become loose, he cannot find another body immediately. No womb will accept him. That means he'll hang around and we can very easily settle him, just like that. He need not go through another process. Even if he lived an absolutely ignorant life, this is the significance of long life. People always blessed, may you have a long life, not necessarily because you're having fun. Even if it's miserable, have a long life so that we will be rid of you for good. Because once your karmic structure loosens, finding another womb becomes difficult, not impossible, but difficult. So that is a time there will be somebody who'll be blasting out these things somewhere.
wherever. Even if they don't know any spiritual dimension in their life. So, if you are no good for anything, at least live long enough. Don't do it around me. If you're miserable, do your misery somewhere and come at 84. We would like to live with joyous people. At 84, you're welcome.
Well, my question was going to be this. We started off talking about the cycles of the universe, and there was something which intrigued me. In one of your films, or one of the interviews, I've heard you talking about the fact that there were a certain number of cycles.
84.
84, exactly. And so I was intrigued about this, not 42, which is the answer to everything in Western, but 84, which of course is
42?
Which is twice, 84 is twice 42.
Okay.
So, but I'm fascinated, where does the figure 84 come from and why 84?
Well, you already heard that video, so I will leave that part.
No, but they didn't, and yep.
See, there is a continuous talk about Big Bang.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of the scientists who's written a book on endless universe. Yes, endless universe, that's the title of the book.
Paul Steinhardt.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
So I met him in Davos and he was setting up a computer simulation of how it could have been. When I looked at that computer simulation, this is a form every day we work with. We call this linga. The word linga comes from the word lina. Lina means the form. We call it the form.
The
Form.
foam.
Form. What do you say? Form.
Form, sorry. Form. Thank you. It's my English accent.
Okay. The form.
Oh, now I understand.
Yeah. So, we call it the.
Yep.
Why it's called the form is because it was the first form. So when he breathed out and when energy played upon his body and little particles of creation started forming cycles and making Mahakala, a great time, into a simple time process of atomic time, then he roared. When he roared, it rose like that. That form I'm seeing on his computer. This is a form we always people worship and work with in so many ways. I see this guy had it on his computer. I said, how did you get this? He said he's been working on simulating the Big Bang. Then I asked him a simple question. Is it possible there could have been many bangs? He did like that and then he said, possible. Then I said, if there are many bangs, see if you have an automobile, if you take off the manifold, you will see the engine will go bang, 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 bang. If you throttle up, it'll roar. So I said, if there was a series of bangs, could it have been a roar? He said, why not? Possibly. I said, we've always been saying it's a roar, so we called the first form as the Rudra. Rudra means the one who roars. He roared. Like this, then we evolved many forms to describe this. This was Mahakala, this was Kala, this was Rudra, this is the first form, and then the many forms, how they came, there are various aspects to it. These things are not today. These things have been spoken millennia ago. How do they know all this? The simple thing is like this, if you look into this piece of creation, the whole creation is present in a footprint form. By looking at my footprint, suppose I walk through the garden, by looking at my footprint, you can measure my weight, my height, my gait, you can even guess how smart am I. Depending on how I navigate through spaces, you can see how smart you are. In this country, everybody's, eulogizing this all the time. The Native Americans could read the footprint and they could read the tracks, how many people, what is happening, this, that, lot of detail into it, because the footprint leaves a whole lot of things. So in many ways, various aspects of this creation, you will never be able to see this through physical approach or even mental approach, because mind we see it as a physical projection. Mind is a little subtler projection of the body. So these things cannot be seen, but the footprint can be seen. With the footprint you can know most of the things. Only thing you cannot know is, what is my nature, you cannot know. But you can figure out, if I walk through, let's say, a difficult terrain, you can easily figure out how smart I am. You can figure out what is my thinking. People do this. Looking at the animal footprints, I do this myself. Looking at the footprint, I know where it is going. Is it hungry? Is it not hungry? Is it hunting? Is it just walking around? I've survived in the jungles because I see these things very clearly. So looking at the footprint of creation, if you have lot of these numbers, which I don't have no numbers in my head, only number I have is this one. Or sometimes it becomes like this. I don't have any other numbers. Because of that, I don't bother about that, but if you have all these numbers, if I show you the footprint, can you build a mathematical ladder to that? If you build that, we can say scientists are seeing something that their eyes or their telescopes cannot see.
Yes, but can I ask a follow-up question? Because one of the reasons cosmologists like myself like to invoke cyclic universes is because of the apparently miraculous fine-tunings of the physical constants which are required for life to arise. This is what's called the anthropic principle, that there are unexplained coincidences between the constants of physics which are required for observers to arise in the universe. And one of the explanations of this is that you have many cycles of the universe, expansion and recollapse, and every time you have a bounce, you change the constants. And so the idea is that many of these cycles are just empty, no mind, no consciousness. But every now and then the constants have the right values for consciousness to arise. And so one reason you invoke cycles of the universe is that means occasionally you are going to be in a universe, well, you have to be in one of the cycles which is suitable for life. So this is one example of the multiverse. Does that tie in at all with the reason
Yes,
for having
very
84?
much. See, this 84, how we are talking about it is, there are yogis who have done a whole lot of mathematics to it. I'm not one of them. I'm good by knowing it by my experience. I don't wish to write it on the blackboard. I don't have the competence, let me say that. Competence comes only when you care for something, otherwise you don't acquire those competences. So these 84, out of these 84, many have dissolved. Their bare, vague footprint is there, but they have dissolved. But the footprint is there in this. 21 of them have a little larger footprint.
Oh.
Out of these 21, 10 are almost non-physical. Non-physical, let's say. The remaining 11 are somewhat mildly physical, but the last 4 are reasonably physical. So, we see this number 21 as an important process. Whatever we want to do, we do it in 21 minutes, in 21 ways and all this, because these 21 still have a footprint. If you want to rise beyond your physicality, absolutely, you have to rise beyond all the 21. But you don't have to bother about those things, because if you rise above the physical nature, not just in terms of physical body, but even the information is physical. All information that you carry, which makes you you, whether dead or alive, it still makes you you, that one, we want to rise beyond that. So that imprint carries all this, and out of the 84, 21 are still manifest in different levels of For lack of words, I'm saying transience. From almost others below 21, they're completely gone. But their footprint is still there, they don't have any influence or impact, their qualities are not imprinted in us. But these 21 qualities are there in us. How many more will happen? 112 will happen.
112.
112. Each one of them may take whatever they've calculated these yojanas up to how long it'll take, that's not my number game, is not my game. So, 112 times it'll happen. After that, it will manifest in a way that it's non-physical and becomes a perpetual universe. A non-physical universe will manifest itself, that it doesn't need physical matter but exists. And even individual existence may happen, we don't know. It may happen, or one massive happening may happen, but a proper manifestation of universe without physicality. When that happens, that is the final one. This is seen as a thing, but I know science will not ever go with that. So let us leave those things. All I am saying is, this simple thing that I am talking about, if I give you the footprints as to how this is evolved, if you can create a mathematical backbone to it, I think it'll make sense to lots of people and you will be seeing further, not with physical eyes, but mathematically you will be seeing much further than where you are seeing right now.
That's fascinating, because that is not one of the standard modern cosmological theories, you see. So, but what you're saying is that you've got these cycles which at some stage evolve beyond the straightforward physical…
See, the beautiful thing is, they're clearly defining this. Because the Indian cosmology is built and personified in a certain way. Most people, Indian origin people will know this. There is a coiled up snake upon which a god is lying down.
Yeah.
That snake is called Shesha. Shesha means, when we are learning mathematics in Indian languages, the remainder, what do you call it? Remainder. Remainder is called Shesha. What is remaining is Shesha. Even in our common language we use that. Shesha means something left over. So, this snake is the Shesha upon which once again creation begins. So this Shesha leftover, the leftovers are there from last 21 universes. But the imprint of the leftover is diminishing as you go backwards and increasing as you come forwards. But the last four are significant.
And so was consciousness in only some of these universes?
No, all of them were conscious, fully manifest universes.
All of them were
But they ran out of time. That what was Kala became Mahakala, but it left footprints. In some footprints they're very strong, we can see exact nature of what they are. Some footprints are very weak, that we can barely see that they are there.
And is this evolution towards, after 112 cycles, a non-physical state, does that correspond to a sort of evolution of consciousness?
In a way, it is like consciousness graduating, that without physical form it can manifest itself.
That's a very positive note on maybe which to… I know we've come to the end of our 2 hours, but that's a… that's a really interesting thought, but especially that you made it mathematical, like…
Thank you, sir. You came all the way. Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic.